I know my pants don't match. You think I try to match the bottom half with the top? Nah. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Justin. My cheeks feel really big. Today we're listening to Roads to Moscow, of course by Stewart, off of his album Past, Present, and Future, which was released in 1974. This is a viewer's choice by just a ton of you, just a lot of you. So thank you so much for the recommendation. Thank you guys so much for coalescing onto one singular choice and spitting that out to me, because that makes it a lot easier for me to choose songs to do. Before we get into anything, I just want to say, last time we listened to Al Stewart with Year of the Cat, it's a fantastic song, but copyright made me cut it up, so that was unfortunate. By the way, anytime that I have to cut out the song for copyright or anything like that, it's super discouraging, because then you guys can't see the thing you come here for. So watch the reaction and everything. So I'm really hoping that this one is not, but if it is, I'm really sorry. There's actually nothing I can do about it, but I'll try and keep in what I can. Everyone, I hope that you're having a fantastic day, a beautiful morning, and a wonderful evening. You can join me on Twitter. You can join me in the comments down below. If you want, you can donate to the channel, but you don't have to. Let's get into the song. This is Roads to Moscow by Al Stewart. Hopefully I don't have to cut it.
Shadow figures stagger through the winter. Fall is surely coming.
That was so amazing. I can't even begin to describe that. That was a masterpiece of music. I don't know how you guys feel about it. Wow, that was powerful and intense. Of course, musically, with the guitar, the opening of the guitar, with the rhythm guitar and then the picking in front of it, soloing, building up this intense setting that we were about to be thrown into, talking about the war and talk about the battle, the back and forth between Moscow and Berlin. That's intense. That's insanity. The way that, first of all, it's all the history is brought down onto the battlefield, into the eyes of the soldier. That's amazing. I love lyrics like that. War is just a terrible thing that no one should ever have to experience or have to go through. But for Al Stewart to write so thoughtfully, so respectfully, so poetically, and so powerfully, to put us into the steps and to put us into the boots of a soldier and have us walk down his path, walk in the snow, feel what he's feeling, and really be able to put us there because of the writing, but also because of the music, which, like I said, is dramatic, it's intense, it's insanely powerful, and I really I'm very impressed with it. The way that the strings sweep up in its intensity and kind of stir you up a little bit, the way that the bass comes in was really surprising, and I want to talk about that a little bit more, but I love the way that the bass comes in and adds this powerful momentum to the song, along with the harmonies and the backing vocals that sound so angelic and so glorious. Perhaps what the soldier was feeling at that time. I'm hoping that none of this got copyright blocked because I'm playing sections and I'm talking about them. The way that the first section of music fades out and this guitar comes in, along with Al Stewart beginning the verse and beginning his singing, which has this very perfect and very fine sway and swing to it. Listen to the verse, because it has a very perfect movement in which it swings and rocks back and forth that I feel is very interesting, because it kind of begins momentum in the song. It starts off very moderately paced, but think about, at least how I think about it, think about if you're trying to gain momentum. You don't start here and then just run. You take a step back, you kind of swing it, and then you push. So in the same sense, Al Stewart's kind of creating that momentum so that he can gain inertia as the song begins to move up, especially as it builds in intensity. Bigger strings that come in later are so moving, I think, that it has a perfect edge and a perfect tone of drama to satisfy what the story calls for. And in this section specifically, listen to the guitar as it repeatedly just, okay, not like that, but as it just continuously picks like that, He's talking about moving through shadows and crossing their lines in the midst of their fields. He's talking about sneaking in, basically Sam Fisher Splinter Cell style. He's talking about trying to sneak in, and that's the way that the guitar plays in that specific section has so much intensity, so much tension and suspense. Think about it. It sounds like a ticking time bomb to me. It sounds like we're just waiting for it to explode or do something to move on from that. But that picking holds our attention, holds us in its grasp as the protagonist is creeping along trying to sneak around. And there's several moments throughout the song in which just the guitar playing, yes, everything else, the bass and the harmonies that come in, yes, everything that comes in accentuates the story. But even if this was just strictly the guitars playing without Stewart, it still does the job perfectly right. And then this glorious moment when it breaks out of this, with the harmonies that pop in with the bass, powerful. That is moving. That is so cool. As powerful as this song is, as inspiring as it is in certain moments when the soldier is feeling a little bit more elated and a little more motivated, the song still carries a very specific weight, a very, very specific sadness that to me can only be found through things such as war. Al Stewart perfectly captures that, of course, in the music, but he does it in a respectful way and doesn't come across hammy, doesn't come across cheesy, it doesn't come across like he's just slamming this message down our throats. He's just putting us in the boots and letting us experience and hear the story for ourselves. And the bass movement in here. I love the bass movement there, and I love the pacing, how it picks up a little bit, of course, with Al Stewart's vocals, which, by the way, I didn't really talk about. They're fantastic. I don't know what else you want me to say about his vocals. They perfectly express emotion. He has a great range, and not necessarily a great range vocally. I don't know. I'm just talking about this song. I don't know how big his range is vocally, but emotionally, he captures it all. Now, the bass, the way that it walks, it's very interesting because it moves very stiff. I find that the bass moves super stiff in this song, but that's part of what Al is trying to tell us here. He's talking about walking in the footsteps of Napoleon, walking in the winter, so I'm imagining walking through the snow. I don't know if this is related to the Russian winter at that time, which I believe stopped the German invasion of Russia, if I'm getting my history correct. The way that that bass moves feels stiff. To me, it feels like a soldier like walking very stiffly through the snow, trying to keep warm. And in that sense, the bass is very cold. The music is very cold. There's little lights of fire, but they're quickly extinguished. And as he's talking about ambushing the enemy, yes, like I said, he sounds very motivated. He sounds like he's ready to go. But there's still a sadness in there. There's still, you don't want to do this. This is violence. This is war. This is something we shouldn't be involved in. And then as it breaks out of this intensity, strings lightens up. Rhythm slows down just a tad. And the bass lightens up just a little bit. That's cool. There's so many moments like that in this song. It's just 8 minutes long. This song is just 8 minutes long, but it packs so much story and music together. And think about that. Like, okay, you heard those big strings. They're very sharp. They cut right through everything. He's talking right there about, I quickly move through the ruins that bow to the ground. So running through a destroyed city, some, desolated homes. The old men and children they send out to face us, they can't slow us down. The enemy is sending out old men and children, people that should not be fighting like at all. But they're sending them out, and guess what? They're not slowing us down. Now, they could be attempting to slow them down with old men and children in a pity way, or just kind of throwing whoever they have at them. But nothing is stopping them, which, like I said, is kind of a two-edged sword. I think war is like more than a two-edged sword. But to be put in the position in which you either have to attack the enemy, whoever that enemy may be, or give up and lose your life possibly. It's a choice that really no one should ever have to make. So many hopeful moments in the music. I think it's so impacting how it builds up its intensity. And I know I've used that word like 1,000 times in this video. I can't think of any word that really captures what this song captures other than intensity. Dramatic flair, intensity, powerful, momentous, motivating. It's all of that. It burns away. All of that momentum builds away. And then he eventually says, and I wonder when I'll be home again. And the morning answers never. That is such a powerful line. I mean, that is a heart-wrenching line. That is just That's broken spirit right there. That is the end. And this song is quite amazing. I hope that I was able to, let it go. Hope that I didn't have to block it, but if I did, hopefully I captured at least a few moments for you to enjoy. But yeah, this was a very fantastic recommendation. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. It says here that each verse of the song covers a different phase of the campaign, starting with the invasion of German troops that commenced the 22nd of July 1941. Even if you don't necessarily know the exact history, you can basically follow a general storyline in each verse and how it relates to the history in which it's taken from. Stewart is said to have carefully researched this song. According to one account, he read 40 books before writing it. I think that kind of plays into what I mean in that he did this very respectfully. He took all the facts. He probably took personal accounts of the soldiers on the ground, in the air, on the sea, wherever they were, and he made this song in which it captures all of the emotions of war. The moments of elation and victory, the moments of defeat and surrender, the moments of horror, and the moments of success. And I was reading the last lines here, and really all of the lyrics are very, very well written. Like, I think perfectly and magically written. And I'm not going to go through all of the lines, but I do want to talk about part of the ending. Before he says that the morning reveals that he's never going to go home, he talks about being on a train. And I'm looking on the side notes here, and it says, Russian soldiers who had been captured, even briefly, by the Nazis were treated as traitors by Russian command. The narrator foolishly let slip that he has been captured for a day. As a result, overheard by spies, he is separated from the rest of the returning troops and sent to Siberia. That's when he says in the next stanza he fully realizes what is going to happen to him when he realizes that he's never going to be going home. Because that stanza confused me for a second, because he was talking about the train and going home. Everything seems like it's going good. He's going to be going home. But then he realizes that he's not going home. So I'm glad that note was there, because I didn't know what transpired in between that, he was going home and then realizing he wasn't going home. This is a very powerful song. I think that this is a great recommendation. I think that this is a song that has a lot of historical value, a lot of emotional value. I think that this is a song that everyone should listen to at some point, really. So really fantastic recommendation. I can't thank you guys enough for this one. I can't thank you guys enough for all of the recommendations, no matter where they come from. Guys, let me know what you think of the song. You can join me on Twitter. You can join me in the comments down below. I hope that I didn't have to block any of it, but if I did, I apologize for that. There's nothing I could do. You can donate to the channel if you would like to support, but you don't have to. You can just sit back, relax, and enjoy the channel. That's really all I want. Guys, have a wonderful night. I will talk to you tomorrow.